In this video, I'm going to share 10 rental-friendly Luxe living room upgrades that you need. The first living room upgrade that you need to make is in your lighting. It's very simple. All you have to do is purchase some extra lighting and purchase some extra light bulbs. Now, I've had a lot of people ask me about this, and because I have an apartment that looks like a basement or a dungeon, if I don't turn any lights on, then I know exactly what you're going through. So I'm going to give you some pretty easy fixes, and hopefully this will help you out. All you need to do is purchase a wall light. They have plenty of wall lights that have a cord that is connected to it, and so you can place it on any wall that is lacking light, as well as add in any lights to your ceiling. If you're lucky to have a ceiling fixture, you can change it out and make it very pretty, or you could add a floor lamp, say somewhere by a sofa if you need to. But there's lots of different ways to add lighting. And do not forget, you have different lighting that gives you a different vibe. So what do I mean about different types of lighting? Well, I like to layer my lighting in 3 phases. I use overhead lighting, which allows me to have the brightest light, and I typically like to use daylight bulbs. That way I can see very well. But then I also like to add my task lighting in areas like my desk, as well as next to a chair, or in my case, next to my sectional where the chase area is. And on top of those two, I like to throw in some ambient lighting. And this lighting can be placed in little cool places. I call them my lighting hacks. I like to place lighting in plants or on top of a shelf, which is actually one of my favorite things to do. You can also use lighting pretty much anywhere, but just make sure that you layer it and make sure that you use different types of light bulbs. So daylight bulbs, soft light, or tungsten light will all give you a different feeling in your space. Now, if this really doesn't help you as much and you want me to dive deeper into this topic, then go ahead and give this video a thumbs up so I know you want that video, and I will make a very detailed video about how to add the best lighting throughout all of your little small apartment in a future video. The next easy living room upgrades tip is to simply add some paint in your space. If you have an apartment and it came with very boring, bland white walls, throw some color in there, and do not be afraid to go for dark colors. Contrast is a very easy way to add a very high design to any space. I did this in my living room and I love it so much. The next tip that I have in regards to painting is, if you are going to paint one of your walls, then you may want to pay attention to the baseboards, because sometimes I notice that people will keep baseboards white, but if they're not really show-stopping or very decorative, go ahead and paint them the same color as the wall, because it doesn't highlight it and it keeps your eye going down until you actually touch the floor. So it makes the room look a little bit bigger and it just looks better. I made this decision myself because when I originally painted my black wall, I left my baseboard white, and when I stepped back, for some reason I just did not like it. But once I took my paint all the way down to the floor, it just gave it that very high-end look. Okay, here I go talking about all these tips, and I haven't even introduced myself. Hi, my name is Wayna, and I make videos on rental-friendly interior design, and I just want to thank you so much for stopping by. And I would ask you to do me one favor. Can you smash that like button if you are enjoying this video thus far, and keep watching all the way to the end. And if you really like it, leave a comment and share it with a friend. All right, back to the tips. Add curtains. Curtains instantly make an apartment feel like a home. Not only does curtains take your echoes away, but it also gives you a very high sense of design, just because you're able to hang them high and wide if you hang them right, and it brings your eye up, making the room look a lot bigger. And here's a pro tip if you want your curtains to look luxe. You want to steer away from really thin curtain rods because they don't read very expensive. So make sure you go for a thicker diameter in your curtain rod, and that will definitely upgrade your window treatments, which in turn will upgrade your living room. Next, upgrade your sofa. It's no secret that the sofa is the biggest purchase that you're going to make in your life. After purchasing a home and a car, a sofa is pretty much your next big ticket item. And so if you want your space to look nice and upgraded and you want a beautiful living room, make sure you go for a dazzling sofa. It is definitely going to make that room just look ultra chic no matter what you put next to it. And I know this from experience because before I decided to make over my living room, I had the most outdated looking sofa. It was comfortable, but it was not stylish at all. And once I changed my sofa, my entire living room went in another direction. Not to mention, I've noticed that if you want your living room to look upgraded and very luxurious, you should pay attention to the arms of the sofa. Usually when the arms of the sofa are very streamlined, it just makes the sofa look so sophisticated. Now, another tip that I want to give you if you're not in the position to invest in another sofa right this minute is you could simply restuff your sofa. I have done this and I can say it made a bit of a difference at the time. I still wanted a new sofa, but it allowed me to, just make my space look a little bit better for the time being. Now, before I jump into my next tip, I want to invite you to learn more about how to figure out what storage solutions you need. All you have to do is click the link in my description box and download my free guide on how to choose the best solutions for your space. This guide is going to walk you through how to analyze all the things that you have in your living room and how to store them. Trust me, this is the #1 thing that you need to know when you're dealing with a small living room. The next living room upgrade tip is to invest in storage. Yep, you guessed it. I always say that decorating starts after you organize everything because let's just face it, clutter ain't cute, period. And what I decided to do in my small living room is to add some vertical height by using bookcases and shelves. I cannot preach about the power of vertical space enough. It just makes any small space look like it's so much going on, and you just have to get yourself some vertical storage. But aside from vertical storage, there are some other places that you can find storage in your living room. One being your TV stand. Make sure that you purchase TV stands that have drawers, as well as if you have any desk that you have in your living room, make sure it has drawers because that's definitely a potential storage location. And do not forget about adding storage underneath your sofa. If you do have a sofa that is raised off of the ground, make sure you add things under the sofa because it's very easy to get to and just downright resourceful. I like to hide my workout gear underneath the couch. Not necessarily saying that I pull it out often, but at least I know where it is if I want to. And I must say, if you're getting value from this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up if you forgot to give it one earlier. Thank you. Oh, this next tip might offend a few people, but I'm gonna say it anyway. If you want to upgrade your living room, don't DIY everything. Yes, I said it. There's a limit to DIYs. I always say 1 or 2. You don't want to DIY really big things in a room like a sofa or a bed. Yes, I said a bed, even though I have a whole video where I made a queen size tufted bed. But I can say that because I DIY'd the bed and I learned the hard way. Although it was fun, when it's time to take big items down for whatever reason, maybe you are moving to another place, or if you get a bigger mattress like I did in my case, you really have a hard time selling that piece of furniture. So don't DIY everything, especially the big pieces. And I want to mention that normally if you see people DIYing stuff, they already have a very beautiful room to begin with. So it's like, sis, whatever you DIY is going to look good. Next on the living room upgrades list is to analyze your furniture. If you have very boxy furniture, meaning the couch is boxy, the coffee table's boxy, the side tables, the furniture, the art, pretty much everything, lampshades, break it up, sis. Add some circles in there. If you like hexagons like me, add a hexagon in there for Pete's sake. But just, break it up. It's too boxy in here. And also add texture. If you have a lot of flat surfaces and you don't have a whole lot of decor, simply adding things like throw blankets or textured wallpaper really adds a level of visual interest to a room. And another example of analyzing your room is to make sure that you have balance. Sometimes we just need to position our furniture accurately, and that makes the biggest difference. I cannot tell you how many times I've redecorated in my life simply by rearranging my furniture. Layouts are very, very, very important. And if you want me to make a very detailed video on layouts in a small living room, then give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment below. And if you want to truly upgrade your living room and you do not have the funds to do it, sis, you gotta save those coins, because decorating is not cheap. It's definitely not cheap. According to Google, the general cost to furnish a living room starts around $10,000. Yep, I said $10,000. That's a lot of money. So if you want to decorate affordably, then you have to save up for it, because like I just told you earlier in the video, one of the biggest purchases that you're going to make in your life is a sofa. So we definitely want to save up for that. Another tip to upgrade your living room is to hang your TV. I made an entire video on how to hang your TV and hide your wires. And so if you haven't seen that video, then definitely check the description box below and watch that after this one. Another underrated way to upgrade your living room is to simply add rugs. Rugs define your spaces. They tell people, don't sit here, sit here. And they just make everything feel so cozy, very similar to curtains. I always say, if I move into a place, I need to put my curtains up and I need to get a rug, because it just makes the place feel much more warm and inviting. So let's recap. I just told you 10 best renter-friendly small living room upgrade tips that you need to be doing like today. One of them, maybe the light bulbs, maybe rearranging, I don't know, but they all make a big difference. So if you like this video, then definitely give this video a thumbs up, share it with someone. And if you want to see more videos just like this, then you can watch these videos or check the description box for others. All right, as always, thank you for watching. Don't forget, be you, be beautiful, be chic, and I'll see you on my next upload. Later.